Welcome back, welcome back. So I found a little video and I think it'll be very good for some of the people that have been here for a while to hear what a fallen one would say. Because, this is make believe, But if you live long enough and pay attention to things, you know, if you actually pay attention to the story, you would know this is what they would say. Everybody thinks the fallen, they're all like badass and they fucking fuck everything. No, they're just like men. They fall because of women.
I have been here since before your oldest kingdoms rose, and I will be here long after your world has burned. My name is Semyaza. I was a watcher. I stood in the high places and saw everything God made, and I wanted what was not mine.
Salute to one of the OGs.
Let me tell you how I came to wear these chains, so that you never wear them yourself. We were the Watchers, 200 of us, stationed at the edges of heaven. Our task was simple: observe, record, never interfere.
You get that? There's all these other angels. They never see God. They never will get to see God. And then they never get to see Earth. They never get to see humanity. The greatest TV show in the reality of reality. Because that's all there is. They don't get to watch the fucking TV show.
For ages we watched. We saw humanity grow. We saw them build and love and worship. And we saw their daughters. I saw a woman by a river. She was washing her hair. The water caught the sunlight and I thought I had never seen anything so beautiful. We were not made for them. They were not made for us. I knew this, but I let the thought stay.
You get it? He knew the rules. That's mine. She belongs to me. I belong to her. We were made for each other. Now stop being a fucking hater and watch.
And that was my first sin.
But like the Father said, be careful of your thoughts. Because as a man thinketh, so shall he be. He's not a man, though, so he shouldn't be wanting man things. Because once you put that thought in your head, imagination takes over.
The daughters of men were beautiful. Genesis says it plainly, and we saw it, all of us.
Will come along to get that top spot. I'm going to try to execute that spot with you. But you have to be a man to say, hold it. You're not my wife. You're not my main chick. You're just a chick that I'm dealing with. You trying to earn a spot. You're trying to earn a position. Why don't men take that shit serious? The position you give a person in your life, why don't you take that serious? That is a serious position. So that's just like I gave an example the other day. Your roof is cracked. You need some roofers. You gonna go hire one company without getting an estimate from 4 other companies? No, you're gonna give the right company the position. You're not.
Shout out China White.
Not gonna just let anybody fix your roof. What if they don't have the experience? What if they've been on a Better Business Bureau? What if they have complaints? And so you're going to give anybody that position? No, that's how it is with women in your life. That woman is going to carry your seed. Anything that woman think of, your seed is going to be thinking of. That energy that woman that you nut in, your seed is going to possess that same energy. Because
I guess he didn't realize that.
Quietly at first, then openly. What if we went down? What if we took wives? What if we tasted what God had made for men?
So they formed the first conspiracy group. You get it? They formed the first gang. We's gonna break the laws.
They looked to me. I was their leader. They wanted me to decide. And I was afraid. Not of God, of being the only one to fall. I said to them, I will not bear this sin alone. Swear with me. Bind yourselves to me. If we fall together.
AKA, I know some of you are fucking pussy holes. So when we go against the Lord, we're gonna fucking lose, nigga. We're gonna have our time, and then the all-powerful one's gonna have his fucking way with us. And if you agree to this, well, I'm gonna make sure you can't get out of it. There ain't no fucking pussyfooting, nigga. We're burning the boats. Ain't no going back home. You sure you want to be down? See, this is why I'm not giving a fuck about my enemies and what goes on in the world, because they know their time is short.
Have your fun.
We descended to Mount Hermon, 200 of us, and there we swore an oath. We bound ourselves with curses. If one fell, all would fall.
You get it? The bad guy, they cursed themselves already. Because, you're going to get cursed by God. So, that means he's going to be doing things. And there's no backing out. See, I keep saying it to niggas.
Bad guys got fucking rules too, and you have to fucking follow them. It doesn't matter what team you go on, there's rules. And there's no backing out. You choose your fucking side, and you stand on that.
If one was punished, all would be punished.
And that's why they get mad about our side. If one fucks up, we all don't get punished. We get forgiveness because, we don't disrespect the Father and, get out of our place. We learn to appreciate our place. Because we got women. Oh yeah, we don't have that anymore. And we still stay in our fucking place.
Azal gripped my hand. His eyes burned with certainty. He had no doubts. He wanted this. I envied his conviction. I still had doubts, but I swore anyway.
You get it? You get it? He had doubts. Why?
Azazel, Rami, Kokabah, Tamiel, 200 names, 200 oaths. The Book of Enoch records them all. Heaven has not forgotten a single one. When the last name...
He's making a list. He's checking it twice. He already knows who's naughty and nice. The Most High already came to town. Fucking dummies.
That energy that woman that you nut in, your seed is going to possess that same energy because it's that seed is coming from her. So whoever you nut in and you have that seed with, have that kid with that woman, that child is going to embody that woman that you nut in. Do you understand that? So that's a responsibility a lot of men must take. Okay, we can talk about, okay, she ain't shit. Okay, she just want money. Okay, she just want to take the kid away from me. She just want to put me on child support. But fam, Fam, it started with you. It started with you. Just admit you was weak for the bitch, and that shit would never happen again. It would never happen again, right? And that's
Was spoken. I felt it. A chain around my soul. Not the chains I wear now. Worse. The chain of shared guilt. We were bound. Forever. We descended. 200 lights falling from heaven. If any human looked up that night, they would have seen us. A meteor shower of angels abandoning their posts. When my feet touched earth, I felt a heaven close behind me. The door did not slam. It simply ceased to exist. We could not go back. We did not want to. Jude writes that we abandoned our proper dwelling. Peter writes that we sinned and were cast down. They are both correct. We left our place, and we can never return. We took wives from among the daughters of men. Genesis records it. We chose them for their beauty, and they chose us because we were like gods to them. We told ourselves it was love. Perhaps for some it was, but love does not excuse rebellion, and what grew from those unions was not blessing, it was horror. Azazel taught them to forge swords and shields, weapons of war. Humanity had killed before, but only with stones and sticks. We gave them the means for slaughter.
So did they say they was teaching men this shit, or did it say they descended upon women and said, yeah, we're gonna teach you shit? You know? I don't think it's gonna be the first group is gonna be say, yeah, we're coming down and making cool, we like dudes. No, they came down here for the booty, like pirates. You know what I'm saying? Captain Jack and the crew came for the booty.
And that's a pill a lot of men don't want to swallow. It's easy to say, when you say that bitch in my life, you know, if you say that woman in my life, she hurted me, that woman took from me, that woman scared me, that woman hurt me, what you're actually doing is giving that person power. I don't give anybody power over me. I take responsibility for anybody I entertain. If I sat there and allowed men to slap my ass from morning, noon, and night, I'm going to take accountability for that shit. Just like you were taught when you were a child by your father and your mother, those rules still apply today, fam. Don't ever put away with that.
He taught them sorcery and enchantments, how to read the stars for forbidden purposes, how to beautify themselves with cosmetics and jewelry, vanity, war, magic. We corrupted everything. Every watcher taught something. Root cutting.
Now, do you see their big mistake in why the Lord said, you can't come back and you're going to cook? Because you altered my fucking reality, you goofy ass niggas. They didn't know how to do all those things, so, humanity wouldn't be brutalizing each other, because knowledge is power. But power in the hands of a fucking child is a very dangerous thing. So you set off a chain of events with a entire world of children. You know? Just because they're grown-ups doesn't mean they're not children when it comes to knowledge. So the Lord is going to punish you for hurting children.
And then those children breed children, and those children breed children, and then those children breed children.
And since you only like certain ones, you're only going to teach certain ones how to have certain shit to dominate over others. Thus, you're creating more imbalance. You're creating more. Oh, you're creating your own story now. You're trying to create story now, not realizing you're a part of the story. The story was already written. You're not doing anything. You just chose your fucking spot.
Astrology, how to kill, how to deceive, the earth filled with violence and wickedness, and we were the source.
You know, like my father's the source of all life. You know, the dark and the light side. So if you go the opposite way of him, then you're gonna be the bringer of doom and destruction. But you're gonna blame him and say it's your fault that there's reality rules. There's rules that we there's no changing the rules. There's just the way it is. And I didn't want to fucking listen, so I had to find out the hard way like a child does and not put my hand on the stove.
Put away with that. For the moment you swallow that pill, and the moment you say, you know what, I fucked up in a relationship with that woman. Okay, that bitch did this to me, that bitch did that to me, but I would never let that happen again. That is when you take yourself out of the victim mindset and you become more control of your life. You control your life a little bit easier because you know the next bitch that you deal with, you're not going to let her get in that vicinity of you without proving herself to you.
Then our wives conceived, and when they gave birth, we saw what we had made. Not children, monsters.
If you're half angel and they're half man, that means it has to take half of your form, which, you know, angels could look like anything. And I'm sure you look a little bit taller than a dude. So they're gonna have height. And then, since, like, you're immortal, your body's immortal, then you have an immortal type of DNA life force thing. That would mean it gets half of that. And then since man has like the it's like the Hulk. We're like the Hulk. Our emotions make us grow and stuff. So you're getting the best of both worlds, which would mean you're a new life form that doesn't have sanction to exist. Because the fabric of reality that you got created in, it's not real. So you have nowhere to be. You're half an angel and you're half a man. When you die, there's nowhere for you to be. There's no place. Angels are in heaven and will always be there. Man will always be on earth. So, since you're not just a man and you're not just an angel, you can't come upstairs and there's no other middle ground. So, let's see what happens. Let's see what my father decides to do with them.
They grew and did not stop. Giants, the scripture calls them. Heroes of old, men of renown. But renown for what? For the blood they spilled. Enoch says the Nephilim consumed everything, all the produce of men. And when there was nothing left to eat, they turned on humanity itself.
Well, when your lifespan's longer than a human, that means you get to be a bad guy longer than anybody else does. You know? That means your reign and you're so powerful. Like, man can be bad, but the Lord put an age limit and a reality limit on us, you know? We didn't have those weapons to fucking have a longer and longer rank, get it? You had to work the hard way. You know? You know? Now, you could be a fucking coward and rule shit. Well, not really, but you know what I mean.
The earth filled with violence because of us. The blood of men cried out from the ground, and heaven heard. I looked at my children.
Well, when you create things that can defeat everyone and everything, once they defeat everything, they're still super conquering things. You get it? So there needs to be an endless war. There always needs to be an enemy. And since the enemies are too weak and too small and can be defeated, it's only a certain amount of time before that's done with. And then, you know, you get bored. And then, you know, since men
can, like, we have brains and stuff. Like, some of us can go crazy, you know? We can have madness. So you're half a man and you're half an angel. So you can be half crazy as fuck. One of them got to go crazy. Out of all of them, one of them got to be born with a little What's that guy gonna grow up to be? A destroyer. You get it? And then since, like, he doesn't, probably wants to destroy anything and everything. Even his brothers. To prove he's the strongest of them all. There only can be one. Shit like that.
And I saw the judgment already in their eyes. They knew they were not supposed to exist. They knew we had cursed them by creating them.
Now, how bad does that gotta fucking burn when you gotta exist and say, I'm this thing and I can't even stop because this is what unbeknownst to my parents, this is what they were making. And now I'm this thing that's going to be judged by the Creator as blasphemy. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Enoch says the earth itself brought accusation against us. The planet groaned under the weight of our corruption. Creation itself cried out for justice.
What's up? It's Christopher Bella here.
Well, if you're the opposite of the Creator, well, then you would be the Destroyer. So, yeah. Creation would be like, Lord, like, help me, help. You said things would be here forever. Not these guys.
The cry reached heaven. Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel. The 4 archangels looked down and saw what we had done.
Oh, so they used a bat signal.
They went to a temple. Everybody in the world went somewhere and did some magical phone call. Or did everybody just finally get enough punishment in the world and they all understood? Because it seems like nobody believes my father until that car almost hit your ass. Or you break your legs, or you're too drunk, you're thrown up all over the place. Whenever we're really fucked up, everyone's calling my father. Or when you have really good sex, women love to call my father then, right? You know God then. You know he's real then, don't you? It's amazing how many weird ass times people really call the Father. In times of great passion or in times of great danger, you fucking people that don't even believe, and don't lie to yourself, because I was one of you. Until I walked the path and, seen things. I was one of those, that you don't believe, but you don't really believe because you're not doing the work. So he's there because you're told. But that's just believing. Knowing means he does things and you see.
And they received their orders. Raphael was...
You get it?
The big dog sits on a seat and he gives orders. And shit gets done. Why? How? Because he's always watching. He's got his eye on things. You people worrying about fucking cameras and AI fucking cameras. My father's watching you.
Sent to bind Azazel. Michael was sent to destroy the Nephilim and chain the Watchers. Judgment was coming, and we had no one to blame but ourselves.
So, the big dog always had his platoon of soldiers for God knows how long. Only he knows. I mean, if I'm gonna make things, I'm not just making a bunch of pussy niggas to play harps and sing praise my name so I can be the honest strength around here. Nah, I'm gonna build an army like any fucking
Man. Oh, yeah, he's the first man. And the last man. I forgot. There's nothing we don't do where we're, not copying him.
Before the angels came, God sent Enoch, a man, to deliver the verdict. The watchers begged him to enter.
Oh, so before he sent the war general, Michael, the cleanup crew, he sent his new messenger, because that's what he's going to do. He's going to go deliver a message, and if you paid attention, that was the watcher's job. That was their job, to watch and give messages. Oh yeah, they jumped off their post and gave up their fucking spot. And God doesn't create new spots. He fills positions.
Sea to pray for our forgiveness. Enoch agreed to try.
Now imagine you're Enoch, and the very guys that ripped every reality of reality. Your whole fucking world's going to shit, and you get to meet the guys that started all this, and then they're begging you, a mere mortal, go to our father, cause he's my biological father. He made you, nigga, but he made me first, dog. I'm big brother to you. Could you go talk to daddy for us? Cause you're the new watcher now. You're in my throne. Can you go speak to daddy for me? Tell him to forgive us, cause he has all forgiveness and he has all knowing and stuff. Can you please? Please. The guy that ruined everything. Fucking, you probably got fucking generations of fucking people destroyed because of my children and shit, Humanity corrupted, Sorry. Can you go talk to the Lord for me? Can you do it? You see why I say I don't have enemies. Because when my father comes, they're going to beg me to go talk to him. So, you're not my enemy. You're fighting the Lord.
Enoch returned with the answer: no forgiveness.
Why? Because you set a chain of events on that even when you're gone is going to still continue. You fucked up. You did something that's going to ripple through the fucking fabric of time. You can't take it back. That's why I told you don't go down there. You don't know what you're doing. You have it better than you think you do.
No mercy. We had been intercessors for humanity. Now a human had interceded for us, and the answer was judgment. I did not fight. What was there to fight for? My children were being destroyed. My brothers were being chained. I submitted. The only dignity left to me. Azazel did not submit. Raphael bound him and cast him into Dudael, covered him with sharp rocks, buried him in darkness until the day of judgment. He is there still, raging. They cast us into darkness. Peter calls it Tartarus. Jude calls it everlasting chains under darkness. Both are true. There is no light here, only memory.
What'd he say?
Peter calls it Tartarus. Jude calls it everlasting chains under darkness. Both are true. There is no light here.
Not as serious as yours, I fear. Let's not stand on ceremony here.
The shadows.
Mr. Wayne. Patience cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you.
So, when I say I'm gonna send you to the shadows, are you sure there's no shadow room? You know, 'cause I talk about the Bible and shit, but I think your boy over there is locked in the shadow room right now.
Only memory, only regret. We wait here for the judgment of the great day. Jude says it clearly. This is not our final punishment. This is our prison. The lake of fire comes later. We know it is coming.
Oh, the shadows is solitary confinement.
Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated. Aren't we, Bruce? Members of the League of Shadows. And you betrayed us.
Our children were destroyed in the flood, but their spirits remain. Enoch says they became evil spirits on the earth. Demons, my children, cursed because of what I chose.
Because they're half man and half angel. The Lord's not putting up with that shit up in heaven, so, you know, what the fuck? He's not letting them come upstairs. They have man's spirit. The man's not allowed to be up there. They go up there, get judged, and sent back down, you know? And we can't put up with you. So, you know, and then since it has the rage of men and the will of an angel, and then you got Simyaz over there with the rage in him and shit, so Sith Lord, you know, get it? So his children are probably fucking rage, super Saiyan raged, you get it? So the Lord's got to put them somewhere, and he's not dealing with them, so he made a little, you know, a little spot for them.
I had heaven. I had purpose. I had brothers who loved me. I traded it all for a woman I saw washing her hair by a river, and now I have only chains and memory.
Freed us. Yes, you were excommunicated by a gang of psychopaths. I am the League of Shadows. I am here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
The Most High's destiny.
Jude wrote his letter for a reason. He told the story of the Watchers as a warning. Angels who had everything abandoned their proper place and lost everything. You have a place, a purpose, a calling. The temptation is always to abandon it, to reach for what is not yours. The Watchers show where that road leads. Guard your place. Guard your calling. The thing you desire may not be forbidden.
You fight like a younger man. Nothing held back. It was admirable, but mistaken. Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but light. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
But if it means abandoning where God has put you, it will destroy you, as it destroyed me. I cannot escape these chains, but you are still free. Stay where you belong, or end up where I am.
Vegeta. With that stamp on your head, I know Babbidi's been giving you orders. Is this one of them? Are you trying to fight me because of him? Or is this the same old story between you and me? Which one? Does it really matter?
Not to you, Gohan, but to a warrior it matters greatly. And you know this as well as I do, Kakarot. In a day, you'll be back to the dead, and I will not miss this opportunity.
Who are you people? Don't you see the universe matters more